Okay, welcome to Daily 3D Revolve. Today I'm going to be doing a Design Spark mechanical tutorial, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a beer coaster, or it could be used as a coffee coaster holder, and then we're going to create the coasters. So we'll go to new design. We're going to do this in millimeters, so if you want to follow along, make sure you're set up in millimeters. So we're going to go ahead and go. We want our coasters to be 100, so we're going to make the holder 105. So let's go Control minus, and then we want to add some thickness to it. So we'll make sure our snaps are on. We want to go to 125. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and make sure your snaps are on. Put a line right there. And then we're going to select the click off. You right mouse click on that, create as mirror. And now you're going to go ahead and put a line right here. And we're going to do this line at 50 degrees. So just go tab to there and type 50. Enter. Then we'll select the click off. Now you're going to go ahead and trim this. So get the trim away and trim there. There, and then don't really need that anymore, so we'll get rid of those. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and go to 3D mode. Click there. Let's go to isometric, Control minus. Let's add some height to this. I want the height to be big enough to hold the coasters, so I think probably 60 millimeters is going to be good. So we'll pull, click there, type 60. Okay, let's go Control minus. Now we're going to go to top view and select Control minus, Control minus. Okay, now we're going to go drag a marquee around that. We're going to go to move, create pattern. We're going to drag this down to the center there. And then we only want 3 of these. Actually, you know what? Control minus. Yeah. 4 will make them hard to grab, so let's just do 3. So there's plenty of space in between, but they don't fall out of there. So we'll go OK to that. Okay, so this is going to be our part to hold these things. Now we want to put a bottom on it. So we're going to spin around to here. And then we want to select that face there, go to plan view. Now we're going to get the circle tool and come from the middle there. And we're going to drag out to here. Then we're going to go ahead and spin this. Go to pull. We're going to drag that this way here. We'll make the bottom 10 millimeters. So let's undo that. Let's click the face, type 10, then select the click off. Okay, so now you have this piece here, which is going to hold our coasters in there. Whatever size these are going to be. I originally wanted them to be 100, but with that added thickness, they're probably going to be smaller. It's okay if they're 90 or something like that. Okay, so yeah, we're going to keep the holder like this. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and click on that face there, go to plan view. Then we're going to go ahead and get our circle tool. Click the center there. Yeah, these are 100. We could make these 100. Let's go 100. And then there's still a little bit of space in there. So these will slide in there, no problem. Okay, so we're going to go like this. We're going to go to pull. Then we're going to do a no merge. And we're going to drag this up. I want them to be, I think maybe 8 millimeters. So undo. Let's click with it selected. Punch in 8 with the no merge on. I think we had to have moved that up. Let's undo that. let's go ahead and move this. So let's move it away from the bottom. Sometimes Design Spark has problems with, actually we can just pull this up here. Yeah, I don't want it to be touching because that way it may not merge. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to pull. We'll go to click there. We're going to do a no merge, and then we're going to type in 8. Okay, that's going to be our first coaster. Okay, let's go ahead and spin this. I'm not putting any kind of artwork on it or anything. This is basically just going to be the holder and the coaster. And what I do want to do for these is go ahead and put a, I'm going to put a chamfer on there. So we'll go ahead and click the line, the side of this right here, and we're going to put a little chamfer on there. So let's undo that. Now that we know, we're going to do 2. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and spin this. Let's see if we're going to add any details to these. Not really sure what I want to add, if anything. We could probably add a chamfer to this stuff. Let's try it and see what it looks like. Let's go 2. Yeah, that's okay at 2mm chamfer. I think I'm just going to add the chamfer there and maybe on the inside. So we'll go to pull. Let's go inside there. Make sure it's on chamfer and then type in 2. Since we have a copy here, it's we only have to do it in one spot. Let's go ahead and spin this. And then we'll go ahead and let's see if we can. Okay, these we'd have to combine if we wanted to add a fillet there. And I think I might want to, just because, you know, if you, anytime you're 3D printing, if you have a straight edge with another straight edge, which would be this piece here going into this piece here, it creates a weak spot. So it's really easy for these little tabs here to snap off. So what we're going to do is go ahead and let's spin this. Let's drag a marquee around this, select all of that, and then come up here to combined. Okay, now click off of it. Now we should be able to add chamfers to here, or fillets, which we're going to do right now. We're going to go 2mm, and then this will just add a little. This chamfers just, or not chamfers, but fillets just add a little bit of a flexibility to the part. So if you're able to kind of bend it a little bit, so it's not going to snap on you. And then we'll go there, 2mm there for a fillet. And then we're going to add a fillet right there. So we'll get the pull tool, type 2. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and spin this. Okay, so here's our coaster holder. And then we have one coaster here. So we're going to pan down. I'm going to make a few of these. So we're going to go ahead and select everything. We're going to go to move, and then we're going to grab that, and with the control key held down, we're going to just drag up. And type 20 there. Okay, so now we have 2. So now I'm going to duplicate these. So with the move on, we're going to grab that blue. We're going to pull up. Actually, before you get going, you got to hold down control. And then we're going to go a couple right there. 1, 2, 3. So now we have 4 with some spacing. Now these are going to basically go here. Let's move. Those are going to go right down in there. So there's enough room for probably 6 or so of these. Let's put less spacing. Let's go ahead and select all of those. I'm going to create a pattern here. Just it's easier. Let's go to move, create pattern. Let's move this up. I think I made that notch 60mm, so let's do this at 50. Tab. Oh, sorry, tab. We'll do 50. And then we'll tab over to the count. Let me see, I'm guessing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try 8. Okay, 8's a little much. Let's try 7. I think we can do 7. Okay, so select the click off. Well, that might have even been too much. Let's undo that. Okay, let's try 6. 50 millimeters. Or actually, let's take that up to 60. 60, tab, and let's try 7. Yeah, 7, there's a little bit of space in there. So we're going to select the click off. We're going to grab these. Going to select move, and then we're going to pull these down. So that should be enough. That's enough for 7 coasters. Okay, so as long as they're not touching, we should be fine. So we're going to go ahead and let's get these, and let's move them down. And then we're going to go ahead and spin this. Well, that's weird. One of my little things disappeared. That's kind of odd. Boy, Design Spark Mechanical sure does some funky things sometimes. Now we got to go back to figure out when this thing disappeared. All right. Wow, it was there just a couple of moves ago. Odd. Okay, so let's go to move, and let's just drag that down. Okay, let's go to there. All right, it's going to be our coaster holder. It looks like it maybe holds 6 coasters. Let's get rid of that one. Oh, I got to ungroup it. Okay, so to do that, you right mouse click, come up here to make independent. And then we want to get rid of just that one. Okay. All right, so let's go over here to view an isometric view. This is going to be our coaster holder. Hold 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it has 3 little holders. And then I'm not going to put any pegs or anything on it. I think it just needs to be flat. And then, okay, that's going to end today's tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed watching and you got some useful tips out of this video. I'm going to go ahead and take this into Rhino and add some wood texture to it. If you want to hold on for that, I guess I can include that in the tutorial. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and come up here to File. We're going to do Save. And then we could just call these coasters. All right, Desktop, Save. And then we'll go ahead and do a Save As. Save it as a STL file. We'll change the file types there to STL. We'll come over here to Option, make sure this is on Fine. Go ahead and hit OK, make sure it's on the desktop, hit Save. Now we're going to minimize. Now we're going to go ahead and grab this coaster and drag it into Rhino 7. Go ahead and click OK. Click go there. Double click on Perspective. We're going to select these. Select everything. We're going to come over here to the plus. Import from library. We're going to scroll down to the bottom here, go to wood. And then we're going to pick a nice wood texture. Maybe this polished wood here. I like the African teak polished. We'll click there. And we'll go to right mouse click, assign. Now we're going to go to the globe, rendering globe. We're going to click over here to the background, solid color. And then we're going to pick a light gray. Go ahead and click OK. Now we're going to come up to view and go down to ray trace. And then we're going to click off of it. Okay, so here's our coaster holder with 6 coasters in there. This looks pretty good right here. I'm not really going to add anything to it. I could add sunlight, but that's going to make it really bright. Let's try the sunlight, and then we'll go with a darker color. Okay, that's a little bit better. I like that. Okay, so we're gonna let it render. You have to go to about 1,000 cycles for the ray trace to complete. I normally kind of I normally stop it around halfway. It doesn't have to go up that high, just as long as it looks good. This is just going to be a picture for the YouTube tutorial video. So whenever I think it looks good, we'll go ahead and create a screen capture. Okay, that looks okay there. That's about 400, a little less than halfway there. So to take a capture on your keyboard, I'm working on the laptop. Next to the Alt key, there's basically a Windows symbol with 4 little windows. You're going to hold that down. You're going to hold down the Shift and the S as in Sam at the same time key, and you're going to get a window like this. So you're just going to drag a marquee and then let go. It's going to create a snippet. Then you're going to come up here, go to the Paint, or open up your Paint program. Click there, and you're going to do Control V as in Victor. That's paste. Then you're going to click on this crop, and then you're going to come up to File, do a save it as JPEG, and then put it on desktop. And then you're going to close everything up. And don't disregard changes. And then no to that. Okay, that's going to end today's tutorial on how to create a coaster holder, coffee coaster holder, beer coaster holder, and then how to add the 6 coasters to it. As long as you put a little bit of space in between these, the nice thing about this is you can print this with a printer. And as long as they're not touching, they're not going to become lumped together. So these aren't touching. So normally if you print with a printer that has support, you're going to have support inside of here, right inside of here. And then as you clean these off, they're going to separate. I worked for many years with an Objet 350V printer, pretty big printer, and that's always the way that I would do files like this. I'd either, if they were SolidWorks files, I basically would nest the parts really close together, so I would be able to basically print with support, and as long as they weren't touching, as soon as the part was done, you just pull this whole piece off. These would be held together with support. And then as soon as you washed out all this support, you basically would have your holder, plus you'd have 6 coasters. So the modern 3D printers, ones that aren't big and professional like the one I worked on, they have a different way of putting support on there. But as long as the parts aren't touching, you shouldn't have any problem. Okay, that's going to end today's tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed watching and you found some useful tips out of this video. And as always, thank you for watching.